Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to another Manchester United live preview. Tonight we're going to be previewing, of course, the big midweek game, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Really the biggest Premier League game of the midweek festive period, the first midweek game in the festive period, and I'm looking forward to it. I am slightly worried and slightly nervous as Jack is there. Welcome Jack, thanks for joining. But I am slightly nervous and kind of for this game. But I am excited as well. You have to be excited going into these big fixtures. You know, you always want to play these big teams. These are the fixtures that you look at in the calendar beforehand, and I am excited for it. But at the same time, I am very, very nervous, especially with the form that we are coming into this game with. You know, obviously a draw against Southampton. If you want to go see my review of that game, if you haven't already, go and check it out on the channel. But it was a shocking performance, and we come into this game without a win in our last, well, one win in our last 4 Premier League games. And you look at Arsenal's form, and they are tearing it up at the moment. Win in the North London derby as well. And they played absolutely out of their skin. Boss Spurs off the park in that second half especially. And they've got some really good informed players. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, top goal scorer with 10 goals in the Premier League. And I'm worried. And especially with all the injuries in defence, I'm worried about Aubameyang and Lacazette up front, especially Aubameyang with that pace in behind. If we do go and play Nemanja Matic or Scott McTominay at the back, we're going to get absolutely exposed. And welcome Sickball1 to stream, thanks for joining. And yeah, I just want to know what you guys want to say as well on it in the live chat. And also, if you are watching this as a video, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really want to hear what you have to say. He also says, Rashford penalty and Lacazette and Lukaku. Well, to be fair, a 2-1, as you said there, 2-1 to United. I think if we did win this game, you know, it would be a huge, huge win for us. Because it would mean potentially that we could be back in that top 4 race. Because, I mean, for us, we need to start beating these big teams if we want to get back in that top 4 race. You know, it doesn't matter if we beat the smaller teams now. It's about beating the big sides and clawing our way back into that top 4 race. And Arsenal is the perfect way to start, although they really are going to be, they're going to put a lot of pressure on us. And the way they're playing, I feel like they come into this game as favourites. I think it'll be hard to argue against that. You know, Arsenal, they're on this huge unbeaten run, and they come to Old Trafford in much, much better vein of form. They're currently 4th in the league as well. So they come into this game probably as the overwhelming favourites, and considering the way we've been playing, it's going to be a huge, huge task for us to get the 3 points. But alternatively, you look at the record that Arsenal have had at Old Trafford, and it's been absolutely shocking. So I would not be surprised if we did turn them over. And I think if we did beat them, they would not be happy whatsoever. But I don't know. I'm worried about this game as Jack is, of course, and I'm not confident we can win, but I feel like we can, just because of our record. And you know, sometimes, you know, these sort of things just plan out like this. You know, some teams just have a really bad record at a ground like we have a really bad record at Stamford Bridge, and I think in reality, you know, we probably deserve the 3 points. But you know, Chelsea got lucky in the last minute and they scored the equaliser, and sometimes you just get these things happening. Welcome Aaron, welcome to stream, mate, thanks for joining. Welcome Manchester United fan stand, welcome to stream, thank you very much for joining as well. Welcome Roberto, and welcome Gaza as well, thanks for joining guys. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already, I really would appreciate it, and please do feel free to leave your thoughts on the Arsenal game as well. I will be taking calls tonight, Darryl, a bit later on. And also, guys, as well, make sure you check out United Fan Focus in the description down below, because they will be going live at 9 PM as well for their Arsenal preview. So make sure you're there and you go and check that out. Also, what do you think of this kind of Christmassy background? I went with the kind of Old Trafford with a Christmas tree background photo. I thought that'd be alright. If you've got any ideas for any other ways of how I could Christmassy up this studio, please do let me know. Because I really want your input. Roberta says, Internext, if Lukaku and Matic start, I say 3-0 Arsenal. Yeah, we'll totally agree. I feel like if Matic starts in defence, and even in midfield, then yeah, we could be in for a very, very long time. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. Dazzle says 4-1 Inter. Man United fans says, I think Manchester United 2-1 Arsenal. I tell you what, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty surprised with the positivity coming into this game. I like it, I do like it, but I'm not sure where all this positivity's come from. But to be fair, it's better to be positive than negative in my opinion. So you may as well go into it optimistic. But I think we all are very, very cautious going into this game. And you know, I'm worried. I don't think we've got the right players. Aaron says, Darryl, latest score from my Premier League match between Swansea City and Middlesbrough, 2-1. 2-1. Oh, Darylsborough are being beaten. Get snow in the background, says Roberto. I'm not that skilled, to be fair, Roberto. To be honest, I'm not really that skilled with that sort of stuff. So yeah. Oh, fair play. What are they? Are they nice? Tell me if they score it. Welcome Max Worth TV. Welcome Max, thanks for joining, mate, really appreciate it. Go and check out his channel as well, really good stuff. He says 2-1 United. Not hopeful though. Yeah, well, I totally agree, mate. I want to predict that Manchester United are going to get the win, but I'm definitely not. You know, I'm definitely not. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, but I am a bit worried about the game. So I totally agree with you, Max. Welcome Football Red Devils, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. And he says, I want Alexis up front. To be fair, Alexis playing against his former club, I would love that, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think Alexis is still injured, so I don't think he's an option for this game, which is annoying. Glenn Murray scored. Well, I put Glenn Murray in my fantasy teams, which is good. So there you go. Glenn Murray has got some points for me in fantasy. Brighton are 1-0 up. If you want to know about that, obviously some of the midweek Premier League games are going on right now. I think City are playing as well. So I guess we'll keep you updated on that as well. But yeah. I don't think Alexis is going to play up front, Football Red Devils, just because I think Alexis is injured for the game. But, you know, please do correct me if I'm wrong. Also, guys, we're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the 25th of December, Christmas Day. So if you guys can have, you know, anything you guys can do to help me with that, I'll be eternally grateful. So please do, you know, leave a like, share the video, anything like that. That'll be absolutely fantastic. Welcome, Paige Davis, welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. He's going with a 4-1 win to Manchester United. Wow. That would be a huge response from the last kind of few games, especially with the poor performances we've been giving. That sort of win would be a huge response. So that'd be brilliant. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Roberta says, just go on YouTube and type in snow green screen. That should work. Oh yeah, I could do that actually. Yeah, fair play. Well, I'll look up how to do that afterwards, definitely. Welcome Rasmus, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it as always, Rasmus. Dazzler says Alexis is out for 6 weeks. Yeah, I think Alexis is out for 6 weeks. Yeah, I think that's why he's not going to be available for the game tomorrow, which potentially Arsenal fans are happy about, but maybe not considering his recent form. Welcome Matthew Jones on the stream. Thanks for joining. Obviously, one half of the duo that is United Fan Focus, and as I said earlier, they will be live at 9 PM for their Arsenal preview. So guys, make sure you go to their channel in the link in the description down below and hit that notification button as well, so you do not miss an upload from them, and make sure you're ready on their channel at 9 PM. Going to be a really good one. He says he's going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think that is definitely very probable. I think that is definitely a realistic scoreline, I'm not going to lie. So who knows? Dallas, Roberto says, in the transfer window, Woodward should go for Chiellini. He's insane and would instantly improve United's defence. Yeah, but I think, Roberto, you know as well, I don't think Juventus are going to let Chiellini go for that reason precisely, because he's so important to that Juventus defence. And I mean, he's definitely a Mourinho player, definitely someone who, you know, Mourinho, you know, is going to. You know, definitely someone who Mourinho is going to want to bring in, because, you know, he said obviously about Chiellini and Bonucci that they could, you know, teach lectures on how to defend. So obviously he's got a huge admiration for someone like Chiellini, but I don't think Juventus are going to let him go. But yeah, okay, I was just checking something. Dada said, do you see my comment about your background, mate, above? Oh, right. I see you have a new Fellaini. You have a new Fellaini in the background. Oh yeah, there you go. Welcome, Rodney. Welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Go and check out Rodney's channel as well if you haven't already. In the description down below, really good stuff on there. And Roberto, United Fan Focus is streaming, or United Lads as they were formerly known, at 9 PM. So go and check their channel out in the link in the description down below, and make sure you turn on notifications as well so you don't miss when they upload, because they upload some really good stuff. Raza says, off topic, but I just took I took a look at the transfer market and saw Young, Valencia, Mata, Darmian, Herrera, Smalling, Jones, Martial and Pereira are out of contract next summer. This is so worrying. Well, yeah, I mean, potentially for some of those players, I mean, Ash, I think there's probably a few players in there who, you know, as you said there, Rasmus, probably a lot of Man United fans would welcome them not being in the team. I mean, Darmian, I'm not even sure why he's still here. He's kind of just loitering about and he never really gets a game. Ashley Young, I think he's on his last legs. Valencia as well, I don't see him, you know, being a United player for that much longer. I think he might look to keep players like Ashley Young, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, just simply because he seems to, you know, every time we have an injury, those are the sort of players that he brings in as backup. And in the case of Ashley Young and Chris Smalling, that he's playing them every single week. So I think if Mourinho stays in charge of Manchester United, then I think some of those players are going to stay. But Juan Mata, I don't know. I think I'd love to see Mata stay. Obviously, Martial and Pereira, I mean, have to stay. They are integral. I think both really, really, you know, good young players. And even though they're not performing right now, I think, you know, they're definitely players who a lot of people, a lot of teams around the world would want in their team. So it's crucial that we keep them in. But to be honest, I don't see Pereira staying for that long, especially with the limited amount of game time that he's getting at the moment. Razzle says Young, Valencia, Darmian, Smalling and Jones are more than welcome to get out. Yeah, I think a lot of United fans will share that opinion, Rasmus. Yeah, I mean, I think basically, I think if with the exception there of what you mentioned, Martial, I think Herrera, Martial and Pereira, I think apart from them, the rest of them, I think a lot of United fans would be happy to see leave, but there you go. Obviously, you guys might have a different opinion, which you're very, you know, feel free to leave your thoughts in the live chat. I really would want to get your thoughts on anything to do with the game as well, of course. But you know, obviously, it's going to be a really difficult game. It's going to be a very, very difficult game. I'm just checking if everything's working. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, everything's working. Everything is working absolutely tip-top. But yeah, of course, it's going to be a difficult game under the lights at Old Trafford. And, you know, some people suggesting that if we do lose this game, it could be Jose Mourinho's last game. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that if we did lose this game, it would be the sack for Jose Mourinho? For me, I personally don't think it would be. I feel like, again, they're going to give him the January transfer window. I'm not sure how much money they're going to give him, especially after what happened in last January's window. But I don't think the club and the Glazers and Ed Woodward is going to want to give Mourinho money. I feel like there's loads of tension between the two, so I don't see it. I just don't see Mourinho, you know, being given much money at all. So yeah, but we have got a call from one of the main men on the stream. It's Darryl from Daz's Football Stand. By the way, as Darryl's called in, the lines are now open as well. So if you guys want to get involved in the Skype, my Skype name, LiroyLita, in the description down below. Go add me on Skype and then call in whenever you want to. But Darryl, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming on once again. Really appreciate it, mate. How are you doing tonight?
I'm alright. Not too confident for tomorrow's game. I've just realised, right? You said your Skype name. I just realised you've named after one of the Boa players.
Did I?
Oh, well, yeah, because Boa used to have a player called LiroyLita.
Oh, I didn't even know. I don't know why. I honestly have no idea why. I was quite young when I named it that, so I obviously thought it was funny or something. I don't ask. Anyway, we're here to talk about Manchester United versus Arsenal. It's a big game. Well, it used to be a huge game with two teams, you know, fighting for the Premier League title, and now it's been more about the race for fourth place. Obviously, you said there you're not confident going into the game. I mean, you know, what do you think is going to happen? How do you think the game's going to plan out?
I'd like to say that we'd put in a better performance than we did against Southampton, and show the United fans and Jose why we're not in the bottom 10. We do need to improve. I'd like to see us score a couple of goals, get 3 points for once, but I can see it going completely the other way. I have a bad feeling we'll get absolutely demolished, because when you look at Arsenal's attack, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, who I don't think is going to play, Granit Xhaka I don't think is going to play either because he's suspended for 1 game. They do have a very strong team of quality players, so I think their attack's going to be pretty too strong for us. And I looked earlier, and Bailey and Smalling are doubts. Phil Jones is out. We'll be honest with you, he's as useful as the window cleaners that you get. We've got a lot of big players out. Lukaku's out. Shaw, I think, looks like Lukaku and Shaw's going to be out. Ashley Young's suspended. See, there's loads of players in our team who are unavailable for the game because of suspensions and injuries. So I think because of that, if Jose Mourinho does what he did against Southampton and plays that he's got McTominay at centre back, I seriously fear for our future. All right, I don't know what happened there.
Well, no, wait, no. I was just. Anyway, no. Bit of technical issues, but anyway. By the way, guys, just want to mention before I get back to Darryl's points, a few really good points in there, Darryl. To be fair, I do apologise as well for messing up the chat and stuff. I didn't realise I had to. I didn't have the chat up and it wasn't updating, so I just fixed it there. So thank you to everyone who has just joined, by the way, including the Football Crew Show and Ricky as well, and George and Jal. Thanks for joining, guys. Really do appreciate it. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. But Darryl, yeah, I think you're right. I think there's definitely causes of concern. I think I do agree with you that, if we do end up playing someone like Matic or McTominay at the back, we're going to get roasted. We're going to get absolutely roasted by Aubameyang, by Lacazette, by the pace that they have in behind, and the quick passing. We'll get absolutely torn to pieces. And I think it'll be the same if we do play someone like Matic, even in his normal position midfield. So for me, I would just go in and play a bit more kind of, people like Fred and Pereira and players like this, and have a bit of pace in our midfield. But definitely, I think definitely you're right to be concerned a bit about this game. I think as everyone in this chat is probably very, very concerned. There's a few comments here which I'll read out. As I said, welcome to everyone who has just joined. The Football Crew Show says, your thoughts on Andy Tate's song that'll be going viral on the internet since Fergie's. To be fair, right, I tweeted out about it today, and I feel like Andy Tate has been getting a bit of abuse, and I don't think it's really justified, to be honest. I think for me, if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at? So, it's a bit of a joke at our situation at the moment.
Who can you laugh at? Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham, you can always laugh at Tottenham. Don't worry about that. But, look, I think, I just think, if you can't have a laugh at yourself, then, who can you laugh at? And I think it's harmless. I don't think it's, destroying the reputation of the club at all. I think it's completely harmless. But again, that's just my point of view. Welcome, Ricky says they wash his car every week when he gets a new one. Oh, yeah, that's... There you go. That's... Razza says, my heart says that we're going to win against Arsenal. However, my head says that we'll lose for the first time in 12 years at Old Trafford against Arsenal. Again, as Darryl's been talking there, I think a lot of us feel the same way. Roberto says, Board won't have the balls to sack Jose Mourinho. I agree. Football Red Devils says, I'm optimistic. 2-1 United. There you go. Optimism there from the Football Red Devils. Man United fan says, I think Mourinho will stay if we lose, but Mourinho has to go. It says, Man United fan stand. Razzle says, well, if Mourinho starts with any of those defensive midfielders in our defence, then we'll get absolutely battered. Agree, totally. Thank you very much for the support, Jal. Really appreciate it. George14E worms the stream. Thanks for joining. Yes, I do. I do remember you, George. I do remember you. He said, do you remember that I'm the Arsenal fan? I used to chat to you on your lives. Yep, I do remember you, George. I do definitely remember you. Don't worry about it. I remember that name. And Aaron Richards says, latest score for my fantasy Premier League. Doncaster Rovers 1, Swindon Town 1, Swansea City 2, Borough 2, and Portsmouth 1, Western-super-Mare 1, Portsmouth 2, and Dover Athletic 0, Cambridge United 2. Oh, well, Cambridge United are in the league, so that's fine. And Welcome Exchange getting plays on the stream. But Darryl, obviously, Man United fans down there mentioned the idea of Jose Mourinho potentially being sacked. What are your thoughts? Do you think if we lost this game, Mourinho, that'd be the final straw, Mourinho has to be sacked? Or do you think that even if we lose this game, as Roberto said, the board won't have the balls to sack him?
It's an interesting one. I mean, Jose Mourinho, there's loads of times where the rumours and stuff, been loads of rumours around and stuff these last couple of months, saying that if United lose to so and so, Jose is going to get sacked. All the media making this up and stuff. Funny that it's been how many weeks? We're into Christmas nearly. And he still hasn't been sacked. So that was all the media is doing. This one, it's hard to say. I mean, if you lose to Arsenal, it's not too bad considering that Arsenal are on form. It doesn't help United's situation anyways, but I don't think he'd get sacked anyway. I don't think he'll get sacked till after Christmas now, if he even does. Because yeah, I agree with what I agree with part of what Rob put. Don't have the balls to sack him. Yes, they won't sack him because sack him because the board are too lazy. Ed Woodward is just such a lazy director or someone. The board's just too lazy. They won't sack managers, and I know everyone's been saying, well, we can't sack Jose because look what he won for us, the Europa League and Carabao Cup. But that's just fuck all to a lot of big clubs. And that was nice to win the Europa League, but it's done now for us. And that was in his first season. We're into his third season. Last season won nothing. This season, we're not going to get a single thing. I don't even think we'll get the FA Cup or the league this season. Or the Champions League, or the way things are going. Because he's just wrecking our club completely. They do need to sack him, but it's all this talk about, well, it's going to cost, because he's got another 3 years or something on his contract, so it's going to cost about 45 million for the club to sack him. I couldn't care if it cost us 100 million to sack him. Get him out, because the sooner we get him out, the better. The longer we keep him in, the more chance we have of being in the fucking relegation zone. So, I guess. That's just balls again.
You're right. Thank you, Rasmus. Thank you, Rasmus. Thank you, guys. Again, I completely fell asleep on that one, so thank you very much for being attentive. I was just testing you. But yeah, thank you very much. Gosh, a long day. But anyway, no, I do think that you made some compelling points. I think definitely there is a bit of truth in the fact that Mourinho there might be a bit of truth in the fact that the board don't want to give Mourinho the payoff and don't want to sack him and try and try and pay out less money for Mourinho being sacked. Potentially, I think if we get knocked out of the Champions League, I think there's some sort of reduction in the amount they have to pay him. So potentially they could just let it run as long as possible. And I don't know. I feel like Mourinho for me is going to get until at least it's mathematically impossible for us to win the Champions League. I don't see him staying any longer than that. And yeah, that's the reason why I don't see us unless we do win the Champions League. I don't see him being at the club next season. So I guess the people who want Jose Mourinho out right now, and it sounds like Darryl, you want Jose Mourinho out.
Well, I've been Jose out since the start of the season. I think.
There you go.
By the way, did you know this is the first time that Mourinho and Emery have played against each other since Mourinho's manager of Real Madrid.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an interesting one, but who knows what's going to happen? To be honest, Man United could turn up, and I mean,
probably get smashed half the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we continue playing the way we are, we're going to get smashed. But you never know. We could turn up. We could turn up tomorrow, and to rise to the occasion. I really doubt it, but it could happen. Yeah. And or potentially Arsenal could be subpar as well. But Football Red Devil says, I don't think Mourinho will get sacked if we lose against Arsenal. I think they'll wait until the end of the season. I think there's definitely a bit of truth in that. Again, Football Red Devils, I do think that he will be given a bit of time. I'm not sure. I think he'll be given past January. I'm not sure how much money he's going to get in January, but I feel like he's going to get past January. And as I said, I think it's going to be until we are mathematically impossible and not going to be able to qualify for the Champions League next season. Rasmus says, well, for me, even if Jose wins the Champions League, I'd still want to see the back of him. I've reached the point of no return, says Rasmus. I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, I personally wouldn't agree with that, Rasmus. I'd say that if he did win the Champions League, I think that's a huge achievement. Something which no manager since Sir Alex Ferguson 10 years ago this year has not been able to achieve. So I think if he did win the Champions League, I think, and also it mean we qualify for the Champions League. And if we're going to judge him on fair terms, I think he would have to stay. But there you go. But Darryl, what are you looking for? What do you want to see from United? What do you want to see in this game? And any final thoughts before I let you go?
Big a much better performance from the Southampton one. I don't want to see us too. If we turn up like we did against Southampton in the first 20 minutes, we could be 4-0 down by then against Arsenal. We didn't turn up in the first 20 minutes against Southampton, so I want to see a much better performance. I want to see Jose Mourinho playing the players in the right position. And if we lose, he should take responsibility for his decision-making, not blaming all the flaming players all the time. Pogba, I don't think will start with the fact that him and the relationship between him and Mourinho has certainly gone to bits now. So I don't know what's going to happen with those two. I think, as I say, I'm not confident one bit for this game. So I sadly think we're going to get absolutely tonked, and I'm going to say the prediction that I've said on my preview, which was a pretty humiliating one. I never thought I would really say this, but I think it's going to be 3-0 to the Gunners.
3-0 to Arsenal. Well, to be fair, Darryl, I don't think many people can blame you for that. I think the way we're playing, obviously, it's nice to be optimistic, but sometimes you have to be realistic. So I respect your opinion and prediction. But thank you very much for calling in, Darryl. Really appreciate it as always. As I said, guys, go and check out Darryl's channel as well in the description down below. If you haven't already, did a really, really good preview for the same game that I'm previewing right now. So go and check it out in the description down below and give him a subscription if you haven't already. Welcome to Tactical Show. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He says, I'm saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Again, similar to Darryl's prediction, actually. Quite similar in that sense. Welcome, Maria. Welcome to the stream. Maria, thank you very much for joining. Really appreciate it. Please do leave a like, guys, if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that as well. She goes with a 1-1 draw. Very interesting indeed, and you'll see why. Ricky says, Arsenal are a prime example of why Mourinho is finished. Year one of their transition, they're already, in my opinion, ahead of everyone except for City and Liverpool, and will only get better. I think there is definitely truth in that. I think Arsenal, the way they're going, they are... I think Arsenal really are, doing well. Emery's come in, giving a breath of fresh air to players which, let's be honest, we all knew had the potential to play at the way they are right now. It's just that I'm not sure why Arsene Wenger wasn't getting enough out of them. So definitely, I think Arsenal are going in that direction. And at the moment, we're kind of going like that. It looks like we might be improving, but we're not really. I don't know. Of course, I don't have a graph drawing device right here. That sounded really posh. The Football Crew Show says Mourinho will still be here after Christmas, and I don't think the board have talked to other available ex-managers that could be linked with the United job, but April could be his last. Well, I think, yeah, definitely April is probably where the last straw is going to be cut. It was similar to what happened with David Moyes when, Giggsy came in to the end of the season, I think April is usually that sort of time. I think potentially the Van Gaal sacking was already done by then as well. So I think, yeah, we'll know by that sort of time whether Mourinho is going to be Manchester United manager or not. Welcome, Tom. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. And no problem, Dazza. You're free to call in all the time, every stream. We love you having you on. So thank you very much. And as I said, go and check out Dazza's channel in the description down below if you love more football content. Rasmus says, well, if Jose starts with Matic or McTominay and defence, then we can expect a scoreline like that 6-1 against Man City. Yeah, that was a devastating day. I was an absolutely devastating day, to be fair. But yeah, I think definitely if we start someone like Nemanja Matic, in defence, they're going to run rings around him. I mean, he can't even play in midfield, a position which he's played in for all his life, really, as a professional footballer, and he's like a traffic cone. So I mean, playing him in defence would be a shocking decision, but to be fair, I'm not sure if Mourinho's going to be forced into it with the amount of reported injuries that we have. Bailly, Smalling, Lindelof, all out of the equation. It's not looking good for us. So I am worried on that front, definitely. Ricky says Mourinho will probably park the bus tomorrow. Yeah, I think. I feel like Mourinho might look to kind of go for it from the start, maybe get some energy from the fans, but I do think that, even though we put on a bit of early pressure, we'll just kind of go back into the sideways stuff. And I think it'll definitely depend on who we play in that midfield. And I think if we played Fred and Herrera in that midfield and potentially Pogba as well, although I'm not sure if, Pogba's really warranted a game in the team after his really poor performances. Which reminds me, if you guys want to go check out my latest article all about Paul Pogba and the potential reasons behind his bad performances, the article's in the description down below. It's on Red Devils Daily, and also go and check out Red Devils Daily as well. I'm really thankful that Ricky, the kind of top author there, gave me the opportunity to write there and stuff. So, thank you very much to him. And if you want to go check it out, it's in the description down below. But yeah, I'm not sure who. I feel like we need to play a bit more of our dynamic midfield players. If we start with Fellaini and Matic again, I actually might cry. Honestly, I actually might cry. Tom goes with 4-0 Arsenal. Very positive. Rashford, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. He says, win or sack, no excuse United, never take excuses. Well, I mean, we were just talking about that with Rashford as well, and obviously you've gone there and said if we don't win the game, Mourinho should be sacked. I mean, I think a lot of people, agree in the sense that he should have been sacked a long time ago. For me, I don't think he is going to get sacked after the game, and probably shouldn't either. But I don't know, I feel like my patience with Mourinho is wearing thinner and thinner and thinner every single poor performance, to be honest. And the Football Crew Show says, what was your favourite Man United versus Arsenal of all time? Well, for me, watching Manchester United, it's got to be the 8-2. It has to be the 8-2. I mean, to beat Arsenal 8-2. Yes, they had loads of injuries, but it was a ridiculous game, absolutely ridiculous game. But to win 8-2 was just a huge, huge victory, and it just felt so good. So I think 8-2 against Arsenal was my favourite one. Of course, you guys can let me know what is your favourite Man United versus Arsenal. I'd also have to put in a shout for the 3-2 against Arsenal as well, in lieu Van Gaal's last season. Just seeing all the youngsters, Pereira, Rashford, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Lingard, all come into their own was just really, really refreshing to see. So, I like that one as well. Ricky says, well, apparently only have 3 defenders available, but we'll see, yeah. Oh, God, I mean, that would be shocking, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good from the defensive side, and we do need to be good on that. Welcome, Ethan. Welcome to stream, Ethan. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Please do leave a like, guys, as well, if you haven't already. Really would appreciate it. Welcome, Eskeels. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Rasmus says, well, even if we go for it and score, we'll park the bus and try and shut up shop. But as we know, the bus has loose door that doesn't close properly, so we'll end up losing or drawing. Yeah, the bus has not been working on all 4 cylinders at this moment in time. And I think if we invite pressure on, we're just going to get slaughtered. I hate the fact that we invite pressure on. We shouldn't be. We should be going out there and attacking teams. You know, we're Manchester United. Yes, there are ways to go about winning a game, but for me, when you invite pressure on yourself, it never ends well. It never ends well. But there you go. Rashford says, we need a wicked... Oh, welcome Crazy Pizza Game, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Rashford says, we need a wicked midfielder like Paul Scholes. I remember when Rio Ferdinand asked him, are you okay? And he replied, sharp and focus on the game. Well, that's cool. That is cool. You know, that... I mean, to be fair, obviously, that is the past. But maybe someone like Paul Scholes, you know, to come back into the game. I think someone who's close to Paul Scholes is, you know, probably someone like David Silva potentially. But maybe he's just, I don't know what we need. I don't know what we need at the moment because we've got someone like Paul Pogba who, on paper, is one of the best midfielders in the world. But football's not played on paper, and I don't know what we need. I really don't know what we need at this point in time, Rashford. Obviously, I'm not slating you, mate. I'm just, I don't know. Again, long day. Tom says, do you remember when we beat Arsenal 8-2? Remember it like it was yesterday, pal. Ricky says, for me, Mourinho should have been sacked after the Brighton game. It was clear after that we were going nowhere this season. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't able to see that far ahead in the season after that game. I thought, you know, obviously we had a bad performance, but you know what, we've had bad performances away from home, you know, under other managers, under Sir Alex Ferguson as well. So, you know, I wasn't too worried, but I did see some signs there, and obviously I should have listened to them a bit more. Ethan goes with 3-2 Manchester United. That'd be a great game. Rodney says, I pray to watch a thriller, which will probably mean me watching Infinity War again and hoping Thanos turns up. Oh, yes. Exactly. It won't be. I mean, all joking aside, I think it will be pretty dull. And that'll be reflected in my score prediction as well, which I'll be giving you very, very soon because I'm cautious of the time. But yeah, no, I do think it's going to be a bit dull. I think obviously when these sort of games kind of get hyped up and, you know, people get excited about them, they always never deliver. Always never deliver. Creepy's game says, what's happened to Paul Pogba? Who knows, mate? Who knows what happened? Has he ever been consistently good? And I'm sorry to use my buzzword again, but consistency, to be honest. Consistency. Has Pogba ever been consistent at this club? You do the math. You do the math. But look, I don't know what's happened to him. And the thing is, I feel like I always find myself saying, I hope he can get back to form. But the fact that I've been saying this for about, you know, kind of 2 seasons, like every kind of 6 or 7 games, he'll hit a bad patch of form and things like that. And I always find myself saying, oh, let's hope he gets back into form. But maybe he's just not that good. Maybe Paul Pogba's not that good. And I mean, I know I can already, you know, I mean, if I was popular enough, that is, I'd always be able to almost hear the tweets of people going, oh, you're hating on Paul Pogba. Oh, why are you hating on Paul Pogba? He's one of our best players. On his day, he's one of our best players. But for me, Paul Pogba has not been consistent enough in a Manchester United shirt and has not shown enough to be considered as one of our best players. Now, for me, when Paul Pogba came into the club, he was my favourite player. When I saw Paul Pogba come to the club, I was like, right, here we go. Here we go. We've got Mourinho, Zlatan, Pogba, Mkhitaryan. These players are some of the cream of the crop of European talent. And we're bringing them in. We thought, right, we're back. Ferguson era's coming back. And it hasn't happened. So I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but that's what I think about Paul Pogba. Football Crucial says 2001 season when we beat Arsenal 6-1 at Old Trafford. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't even 1 year old then. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have watched the highlights of that, and that did look like a great game to watch. Rasmus says, what do you think about rumours that Mourinho called Pogba a virus? Again, I don't pay attention to media rumours, to be honest with you. Obviously, it's not great. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation. But I think even if Mourinho is very, very much annoyed with Paul Pogba, as probably a lot of Man United fans were, let's be honest, after that his really poor Southampton game, I think to call someone a virus is a bit strong. But I don't know. I don't understand why these dressing room kind of conversations are not kept private. because if you look at every other team, then their dressing room conversations or their training ground conversations are not being, blurted out to the media. So I don't understand why Manchester United's are. Wait, I realise, because you can't make money off any other club writing about them. Ricky says, I thought we'd be top 4 even after the Brighton game, but I knew football would be terrible and we wouldn't improve. Yeah, and unfortunately, you're right. You were right, Ricky, unfortunately. Raja says, I don't see Paul Scholes back to United. He's old. I mean, someone like him, a hard player. Yeah, exactly, like David Silva. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard some people saying potentially a type of Roy Keane character. But if you look at all the sides in the Premier League, name me a successful side in the last kind of 5 or 6 years that has had a Roy Keane enforcer type character. Man City last year, where was the kind of strong character, the guy who was shouting at everyone? None. They just played good football and played everyone off the park. I don't understand this, oh yeah, we need someone like Roy Keane to kick everyone up the arse. For me, I don't think that's going to help. We need good football players. And for me, I don't think we have enough good football players in the team. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? To win a trophy, you need good football players. But for me, we don't have enough good football players. Ricky says, if Mourinho stays for the next 20 years, can you see him win either the Champions League or the Premier League once? For me, if he doesn't win either one of those trophies, he won't be staying for the next 20 years. But if he does stay for the next 20 years, I reckon he would. He'd find some sort of formula, And if he didn't, I mean, his credentials as a manager would have to be questioned. Although, I don't know. Jack, welcome to the stream, Jack. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it, mate, as always. He says, very worried for the game. Yeah, as I said, I am as well. I'm very nervous for this game. But I am going into it with a bit of excitement. We have to remember, guys, with all the doom and gloom that's going on right now, it's still a big game in the football in Canada. Manchester United versus Arsenal. It's always one of those that gives you butterflies in the stomach, even to this day when both teams aren't fighting for the title anymore. It's still a big game, and we don't want to lose to Arsenal. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. There you go. Roberto says, what would you say is the best team in Europe right now? Well, I mean, obviously, Juventus are looking good. Whether it's because they're in a Farmers League or not, I don't know. PSG, I mean, I'm sorry, but for me, PSG are just a bit of a joke team, to be honest. I think they've got some decent players in them, but I don't rate them that highly. I mean, I think right now you'd have to say Barcelona. For me, I'd say Barcelona is probably the best team in Europe right now. I mean, Real Madrid have fallen, of course, but potentially as well Man City. We're forgetting Man City, being unbeaten in the Premier League, probably one of the best and most competitive leagues in the world. Man City definitely up there. So it would be out of those ones. Rash said there's a problem going on at Sky Sports for Pogba is something serious. I've got no idea what's going on, mate, to be honest. I'll have a look that up. Phil Crusoe says, can you see fans walking out if we lose? Yep, well, if we do lose heavily, I do see it, mate. I definitely do see the fans booing. I mean, it was, I mean, obviously, yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. The fans aren't idiots. They'll be watching, everyone will be watching the same game, and if they don't like it, they'll boo. And I think if we do lose, especially by quite a big margin, then yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. As I said, guys, as well, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by Christmas, so please do help us out by subscribing. As well, guys, I haven't mentioned it tonight, but I will mention it right now. Go and check out FanVybe in the description down below. Some really, really good stuff on there. FanVybe, of course, is a place for all sports fans. And here's a bit of a kind of look at the interface and things like that. So as you can see, you get your live feed and things like that, and you can post things and everyone can see it and stuff. There's one of my posts there. And on FanVybe, I post kind of content and well, content that you guys won't get to see on my Twitter, which is also in the link in the description down below if you want to go check that out. But you can just see loads of different football feeds. FanVybe themselves run competitions as well. So yeah, some really good stuff on there. And I really recommend you do go and check out FanVybe if you haven't already. Some really good stuff there. Roberto says United starting 11 will be good. We'll break down David De Gea's United's best player. Young crap. Lindelof good. Nothing special. Smalling's inconsistent. Valencia past it. Matic shit. Fellaini shit. Decent off the bench. Pogba can be good. Herrera and Fred very good. Lukaku had to shine. Sanchez inconsistent. Yeah, some very positive reviews there from Roberto. No, but I agree with a lot of what you said there, Roberto, I've got to say. But I'm going to give you my lineup prediction and my score prediction. So right now, guys, if you are watching, get your score predictions in the live chat right now. I want to see your score predictions, even if you've already put them. I want to see all your score predictions and, and list them off, all that sort of good stuff. Welcome, Yash. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. You've just joined at the right part. We're all giving our score predictions right now for the game, guys. So get your score predictions in right now. For me, I'm going to give you my predicted lineup for the game first. I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal. There's been a lot of injuries, so I'm going to go with Luke Shaw at left back. Two centre backs of well, I don't know actually. There's a lot of injuries to be fair. So I'm probably going to go with oh God, I don't know. Well, Lindelof injuries. Okay, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Jones and Matic. I think it's gonna be Jones and Matic at the back. I think it's gonna be Jones and Matic at the back with I don't know, it's gonna be right back. Who knows? Valencia maybe. Valencia. I'm not sure if Valencia's injured, but who knows? I mean, this is shocking, isn't it? This is shocking. Three in midfield. I'm gonna go with. I reckon he's gonna start Matic and oh, Jones has an injury. Well, who are we gonna play then? Who are we actually gonna play? I have no idea who we're gonna play. Is Marcus Rojo fit then? Alright, we'll put Rojo in there, may as well. And I don't know who else, to be honest. I guess it'll have to be someone like Matic, which is shocking. And then Valencia right back, three in midfield. I reckon he's gonna. I mean, I'm not sure if he's gonna play Pogba, to be honest. Hold on, the lighting here is pretty bad. Oh, it's fine. Anyway, he's gonna put or he's going to put Pogba in there. I think he's going to play Matic and Fellaini once again. I don't think he's going to change it, although I'd love to see someone like Fred come in. And then the front three, I think he's going to play Lukaku up front, Martial on the left, and Rashford on the right. So that is my predicted lineup for the game. And for me, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I don't see us winning the game, and I don't often predict draws, but I don't see us winning the game. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw in this one. Yash here says he goes for a 2-0 loss. Ricky goes with 1-0 loss. Roberto says 2-0 loss. So no, everyone there going with a loss. No one optimistic. Fair play. Not even a draw. Ricky says Jones has an injury. Of course he does. Ricky says the thing is Mourinho already has excuses in his shopping trolley that he has no defenders. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's pretty difficult when you've got loads of defenders injured, but it's not really too much of an excuse, to be honest. Yash says his predicted line: De Gea, Darmian. Right, if Darmian plays, that's a travesty. But Darmian, Jones, Matic, Delo, Fred, Pogba, Fellaini, Martial, Lukaku, and Lingard. Lingard making an appearance. Interesting one there. And Fred as well. You've gone with Fred. I mean, I don't think he's going to play Fred, Yash, but again, I'd love it if he would. I would love it if he did play Fred. Rodney comes in with a 3-2 win for Manchester United. Love it, finally. Positivity. Love that, Rodney. Love it. 3-2 United. Again, that'd be brilliant. But yeah, Rasmus says, I think Mourinho is trying to either convince the board to give him the players he wants or get the sack. Well, I mean, either way, it's not really helping the club, to be honest. Jack goes with a 4-0 win to Manchester United. Wow, I tell you what, mate, if that happens, I'll give you 100 quid. If that happens, it's not going to happen. But Jack, mate, I tell you, if we win 4-0, I will send you over a big fat check for 100 quid. But I admire your optimism. I definitely admire your optimism. Definitely admire it. It's good to be optimistic. Rashford goes with De Gea, Bailly, Jones. I think Bailly and Jones are both injured. Valencia, Luke Shaw, Pogba, Herrera, Matic, Martial, Rashford, and Lingard. Actually, Herrera is a good shout. Rashford says 3-1 to United. The positivity's coming back in these predictions. I think we're 3-all for positive and negative predictions. Matthew Course joins 3-1 to stream. He goes with an 8-2 win. Again, I tell you what, I'll send you £1,000 in the post. Or not even in the post. I'll just give it to you. £1,000 if that happens. And in fact, I'll give you the keys to this channel. I'll give you the stream key to this channel if that happens. But there you go. But anyway, Jack says, if Matic plays, I'm done with football because everything I know about football is wrong. But yeah, I know exactly. I know. Look, if Matic play, I mean, he will play. I mean, for me, there's a 100% chance that Matic is going to play. Roberto is changing his prediction and going with 1-0 Arsenal. Fair enough. So we've only conceded 1. Fair enough. You know, that's better than 2. So look on the bright side of life, eh? Look on the bright side. Ricky says, according to the Telegraph, Phil Jones is struggling with an injury, so I don't know. But if we have him, it doesn't make much difference. He's really unreliable. To be fair, Ricky, I've got to say, for me, Phil Jones in the last few games has actually not been too bad. I have to give him credit where credit's due. He's actually done all right for himself. So, I mean, hopefully he can continue that sort of form, but there you go. Jack says, Roberto, I hope Juve lose every game now. Well, they will. I mean, look, Juventus have already won the title, let's be frank, to be honest. But anyway, guys, there you go. There's a golf club, eh? 9-iron. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Look at that, a flowing golf club. You wouldn't get that anywhere else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below as well. Really appreciate what you guys have to say. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by Christmas. So anything you guys can do to help us out on that will be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's hope for an entertaining game. Let's hope for a win to get back on track. But you know what? It feels a bit like deja vu me saying that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out FanVybe in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in a bit.